I know years ago, back during my prior term on the board, we used to open a place on Saturdays and allow people to come down and paid a man to do it. And maybe that's what we're gonna have to do again, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to police it, unfortunately. I don't care if we got 99 good guys, one bad guy makes it,
And I've had many comments from people very appreciative. I'm sure.
Yeah, this even says that the facilities were constructed as debris deposit areas for residents of the village of Lowville, which is what was going in there. And then, you know, the unauthorized use will be subject to fines up to 250 currents and stuff like that.
So that, Dick, that's actually quoted out of the law.
Yeah.
That's just verbatim law. That's why I put it in there.
Well,
So that no one can make a play on the words, because that's the actual law. That's not my language. That's just, maybe I should have shrunk it down, put quotes around it and said out of the law.
yeah.
But
It just seems like for a first offense, a letter that said.
it wasn't an offense, it was actually just to notify,
Yeah.
it was to notify, this letter was a blanket letter, went out to all commercial
Donna,
users.
did you talk to who was doing that day? You said you talked to them.
Yeah, I went down and met
Were
with
you
them.
the person that said they could dump the first load there? Because they did dump one load.
No, that was
Somebody else was
Tom
there.
way out back one day.
No, same day. It was the same day.
No.
Somebody was there that had all DPW on their vehicle. and
No,
said-
I don't have, it was in my own personal vehicle. I introduced
Okay,
myself.
I only get 5 minutes. I gotta switch topics for a minute. I've explained my point. I understand what Tom is saying with that. Thank you for that.
So this was notification to all,
Yeah.
just a
Well,
notification.
actually, I gotta look at this letter. I don't think that other letter, I thought that other letter had the company's name and stuff on it. Okay.
The exact same letter sent to everybody.
Everybody.
I thought it was addressed directly to the company.
Right.
The envelope.
The envelope was addressed to all of the entities.
Yeah, the letter.
Okay, I thought it was on the letter. Okay, the other thing is, I've been trying for years. Somebody is gonna get seriously hurt or property damage. Because of where I live, and I have coffee at Lloyd's of Lowville, I go down Rural Ave, onto Cascade, up to Cascade and Stowe Street. To look up the hill, there's a tree on Dick Prokowski's lawn about yay big around. You've got to nudge out to the sidewalk to see up the hill around it. But you can't see down the hill yet, because there's a hedge there. And when you make the next move, and a guy's doing 30 miles an hour up the hill, and the guy's coming down the hill, and the guy behind me is squeezed up into the intersection so I can't back up again, there's going to be some accidents there. And that I do know. Your law, and your lawyer can look it up, says you have the right to maintain sight distances at intersections. So I've complained for 3 years, and I've been patient for 3 years, but I'm going to put you on notice, folks.
I
Somebody's
actually
going to
spoke,
get hurt.
I did speak to her, the property owner. It was about a month ago, and about that intersection, and said, you know, you really need to trim that back. And
But you have the right, you the village,
yeah, we know.
have the right to do that.
Yeah, I've spoken
And
with
put it
her.
on the tax bill. Go ahead, Tom. You also used my name because the individual called me and said, you're raising hell over my head.
No, absolutely did not
Well,
use
somebody
my name.
did. She called me.
This was a month ago?
But anyhow,
All right, I guess we're gonna have to do it ourselves then.
I'm done with my 5 minutes. I appreciate all of it. But that one there is somebody.
I don't wanna see somebody get hurt.
Any other public comment this evening? Okay,
So I'm gonna trim that.
we're gonna move on with our correspondence from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in regard to our administrative order, in regard to our public water system, Safe Water Drinking Act, and we need to fix this, or we could get a fine not to exceed $37,561, or a court-imposed penalty not to exceed $53,907 per day of violation, which is what we're currently working on. Would all agree with that? The Town of Lowville Planning Board. Thing. Sorry, just where this ends. What is it?
It's that they withdrew that application.
Oh, yes, the IDA has withdrawn their application from the Town of Lowville Planning Board in regard to their, industrial development park on State Route 26 North.
I got a quick question on that.
Yeah.
Were they withdrawing their planning board, they came to this board a while back and asked for a water allotment and a sewage allotment, and we had authorized, the municipal board authorized it, suggested, and then we authorized the 20,000 gallons per day. Is that still in effect, or should we rescind that?
I think we just let it go, because this is gonna be a process that they're going through for a number of years, so.
They're planning on bringing it back to me?
I think they're planning on doing it a different way, that they don't have to listen to what the town's requirements are. Lewis County Real Property Tax Service regarding our parcel split request when we took over different properties with our 5 Streets project. They're just notifying us that a tax bill will be billed to each one of these individuals. I guess, how do we handle that?
I think it's just saying the one parcel that we acquired from O'Brien's
Yep.
is added to the, is it the public parking lot? It's just combining the 2 parcels, so it's one, I believe. So there won't be a tax bill for that one. The other ones, we have to wait until next year, I think.
No, it said they will still receive all the tax
Right.
bills for the parent parcel for the
Right.
split occurred. This includes 2018 school tax bill due 9/1/18. First time you will receive separate tax bills for the new parcels will be the 2019 school year.
Yes.
So they will modify that to when they no longer own the property though, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
Dan,
yes.
going back to B, Lewis County IDA withdrawal of application, I recommend that we go back to the municipal board and have them withdraw the 20,000 gallons a day that we are allowing them. If they're not gonna do this anymore, we should do that. Although if one were to look at the town of Lowville's minutes, according to Ray Meyer, they're gonna try and do it in a subverted way to, the way I understand it, to redo the secret process. But the letter we got states that they're withdrawing their application, and we don't really have 20,000 gallons of extra water anyways, and so I would like to make a motion that we give it back to the municipal board for their review.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I told Joe that it probably didn't apply because they'd still be working on the project, so that's fine.
You're making a motion to send it to the municipal board for their thought?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Blue Cross Blue Shield for our healthcare plan is letting us know that their proposed rate change says minus 12.9%.
Yeah, that's on that Medicare supplement C part.
Yeah, that's just C.
Don't get too
Right,
excited.
no, but I don't usually see a minus in front of anything,
We didn't either.
right?
Amount to a few dollars and a few
Right.
cents.
And that's the only thing on this, right?
Yeah, offset by the increase.
Pardon me.
Offset by the increase.
Right.
And then some.
Yeah.
Lewis County Agricultural Society has sent a wonderful thank you letter. This was something that we took a little bit of slack on, however, they thank us for being a part of their fair and their community and keeping their fair in such wonderful condition. Working with them through the drought situation, and they worked very well with us.
I would just add real quick too that I didn't mention it the last meeting, I think was the day after the parade, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I was amazed at the shape of the downtown after the cleanup, after God knows how many Tootsie Roll wrappers were probably left for our DPW to pick up. It didn't take very long for it to be pretty much spotless. I don't like Tootsie Rolls. No.
The other thing too that we realize is that how much water does the fair use per day, Tom? Remember? It's not very much.
I have a spreadsheet in my office.
I think it was maybe 50,000 gallons,
No,
not even
no.
You mean a football field?
30,000. Trying to remember.
That's
what it
not the question. The question was during the fair, how much
How much
water?
increase do we
Thank you for
do we
qualifying that.
absorb in the village? And it was not as much as we even thought that it might be.
No.
Very minimal. So that's good to know for the future. Lewis County Planning Department regarding West State Street sidewalk and a multi-use trail system.
The thing I got to say on that, Mayor, is they're talking sidewalk on West State Street from Mountain View Prevention to the church on Monument Ave. There already is one side, on one side of the street, comes all the way from Monument Ave up to Search and Rescue's parking lot. And then when you go from the hospital up to Mountain View, no, it's just an empty ditch. And I guess what my suggestion would be, if there is, village has already got on the drawing table, and we'll probably go after it next year, was a tap grant. And this is a perfect place, we could add this section to the other sections we had in our blueprints for the tap grant. And work with the town, because that's actually town property from the hospital up to Mountain View.
That's the only spot that doesn't have a sidewalk though, right? The sidewalk goes all the way down to the church, and it goes all the way up to the,
It goes to the search and rescue it's on the
Right, to the
right-hand side
parking
as you
lot.
go up the hill.
right,
So I'm saying, we'd only have to put a short section in, but the other's not really village property, that's the town. So
Forward that to Randy
it
Shell.
would be a
Yeah.
perfect spot to add to our tap grant.
right, I don't disagree, but at the same time, the property owners can put their own sidewalks in.
Technically, they're supposed to.
Because I'm not gonna, they can access our sidewalk funding to be able to do that.
But the property
We should-
owner up through there is the county.
Well, we shouldn't have to put a sidewalk in somewhere that's not our property if we haven't destroyed a sidewalk.
No, I'm just saying that if they want a sidewalk, we could work with the town and include it in our grant application for the other sidewalks we wanted to put in the village. Because we had a section on East State, a section by Brookside, another section up there going up to the Bowling Alley, already put in, it would just be a matter of drawing up the additional blueprint. I guess what I'm trying to say is,
I don't disagree with that, I just think it's
I
interesting.
think we could make it work for us.
There's sidewalk 90% of the way up there.
Yes,
It's outside the village limits or private property that there isn't sidewalk. I think county hospital parking lot, I don't think there's a sidewalk there, but I think the majority of that is curb cut and is paved, so.
Yeah.
Same thing with the VFW. The majority of their frontage is driveway entrance. But there are sections that there is no sidewalk. The village has sidewalk almost the
There's
entire
only one little
way.
section, Tom, and that's right
Yeah.
in front of VFW.
Right,
And that's real,
between the entrance and the exit
Yeah.
drive.
yeah,
Most of the, where there isn't sidewalk is from the hospital entrance to Mountain View, which is in the town.
right.
I guess where I'm coming from is she, I think, would like an answer, and I'm just thinking that we tell her we put it on our agenda when we apply for the TAP grant.
Well, Tom
And
did
talk
that,
to the town.
right?
No, I'm talking about this sidewalk, I'm not talking about anything
Oh,
else.
yeah,
That's fine.
Just the sidewalk.
That's fine.
yeah.
But it's outside the village, right?
We have to work with the
Most
town.
of- Most of it, not
Most
all
of it's in the
Well, that's my
town,
point, and I
it's in the
think,
town,
I
but
think the county ended up with improved prevention building.
see, in our
We
TAP
have the
grant,
tax maps, I don't know what they are, but we might have a piece of that we gotta take care of too.
Maybe we can use the 70,000 on energy on this stuff.
You know, I don't know, but I thought that's how it was written.
but see, Dick, we already have a plan drawn up for replacing a bunch of sidewalks, it's a joint effort between the town, and we were gonna go in this, it's like safe schools and whatnot, the TAP grant, and I know, like over there on North State Street, we're talking just one section there from, I think it's DeWitt, all the way up to the bowling alley. And part of that's village and part of that is town. And then we're talking some other sections on East State over by Brookside. But we put in for it and didn't get funded 2 years ago. This year, we didn't get time with everything else going on. It's there every year.
That also would require that the property owners clear the sidewalks anyways, which is not always the case.
While we're on the subject of grants, I'm gonna sidetrack myself a little here. We got $70,000 for drainage up by the hospital. Could you can you give us a status update on that, Mr. Campo?
We didn't get a grant.
The town
The
got
town got the grant.
Town got the grant.
Well, what's going on with that?
It's sitting there in limbo right now.
Why?
Because the grant was got to fix a certain section of property, and that property owner wanted it. And now, with the IDA wanting to develop land up there and other things, until the property owner knows where things are gonna go, he does not want the storm drainage to come across his property at the moment. It's held up by the property owner.
Correct.
But they withdrew that application for the use of that, right? In an earlier, we heard here tonight. So that's back in limbo land a little bit now.
I mean, things like, the town's they may have something on it tomorrow, their board meeting's tomorrow. But I mean, it's basically, Dan, what it was,
I got it.
is the county and town were working together, the village was just gonna help out because it would help us somewhat.
Well, that's my
On the properties
concern.
up on some of that.
My concern, because I know what's happening at the fairgrounds.
You know, the town and soil and water were basically the lead agencies on this, we were just helping out.
Little history, Tom, myself, the hospital was involved in it, the town was involved in it, you know, and it was a great idea. Tom had some really good design and input to it. And I don't know about Tom, but I kind of quit going to the meetings. I think Tom got a lot of other things on his agenda too. And the next thing we know, they changed the design, and I gotta agree with the landowner, where it's going right now, it does put him in limbo as far as if he doesn't get that one area for his land, he was to do houses or something, it would goof him up a little bit.
Who changed the design?
I don't know, Tom, remember we were gonna kind of go around the edge of the property there and
I
drop it
thought
down?
the same thing, which is funny, and I just talked to
Yeah.
Randy last week and he informed me no. I thought it was going down and down.
Yeah, no, Randy's the one that showed me it, so it got changed someplace over the years. It's gotta be 5 years, isn't it, Tom, when that started?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the money's been sitting in
money's
the
been there.
dormitory authority
Yeah.
for at least 3,
Well, my
so.
question hasn't been answered. Who changed the design? If it was changed?
I
Talk to
don't
Randy
know.
Shaw,
I don't know.
he probably
Yeah.
gives you a lot more details on that.
Yeah, probably. I don't have down the correspondence in front of me. Can you tell me what it says about the multi-use trail system? It says
That was the
West
thing that
State
she just sent.
Or multi-use trail system. What's the multi-use trail system?
That was Tom's suggestion.
He said, would really like to pursue a multi-use trail system in the village. Town and village applied jointly for a TAP grant last year for a multi-use trail between the fairgrounds, Walmart, Brookside, East State Street, as well as Bostwick Fields and Trinity Ave. We were unsuccessful in receiving that grant.
So try to do it again?
If you'd like to.
Boy, sounds a good idea to me.
So that was part of his response to her in regard to the
Yeah, thank you.
question about the sidewalk.
I think it would help the residents myself.
So do we think that we could get through the officer and committee reports in like 5 minutes? Because we need Joe for a few executive session questions. Yep, anything?
I don't have anything we haven't already covered.
Myself, I'm gonna just report my fire department stuff, is that they are looking to replace the apron in the front. I talked to Tom Campo today, and we're hopefully gonna get that worked out. And it will be at no cost to the village, other than us helping to remove some of the debris in front, so, very excited about that. Cream Cheese Festival is September 15th. If anybody would like to volunteer to help out, I would love to have you give me a call, because I could use lots of help that day. Clerk Treasurer?
None.
Superintendent?
No, our stuff's already been beat.
Capital and future planning?
Covered it earlier.
Personnel? I would ask for an executive session, please, in regard to that. Finance?
Finance audits are complete for the court system through June, and audits are complete for the office through April, and,
Yeah, I'll do the
Working on
last
the
couple
rest.
months, in the next 2 days or so, Charlie.
all right.
Thank you, Boyce.
What month for our office?
April.
April.
I'll do them for May, June, July.
Liaisons, fire department, I am good with that. They're also looking at insurance coverage. And, they did have an audit that was complete that I have in the office. And they were very successful with their audit. Got shining stars from the auditors, so great job, fire department. Police department?
I just got a short letter here. It's from the Lowville Lewis County Fair. It says, "Dear Chief, on behalf of the Lewis County Agricultural Society and Fair Board, I would like to extend my thanks to the members of the Lowville Village Police Department for your assistance at the 198th Lewis County Fair. We would not be able to put on a safe and fun-filled fair without your continued support. The fair remained a safe and enjoyable environment. Once again, thanks in part to the contributions made by your department. We appreciate all the help and provide during the week and look forward to your support in the future. Thank you again, Ken Bush, Lewis County Ag Society." That's all I have.
Thank you. Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals. We have our, first meeting, I believe, for our joint board will be the 21st of August at either 6 or 6:30, I cannot remember. But both Planning Board and Zoning Board will be on the
6:30.
same night,
Then 7.
6:30 and 7. ZBA is first, and then Planning Board is next, I believe. Municipal Board?
As you stated earlier, Mayor, the next meeting is September 11th, 2018 at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Town?
Just to report on our justice grant that we got with the town. The equipment that's needed to update the security system is all ordered. And as far as the lighting for the outside of the building, any other things that needed changing on the outside, the contractor is expected to be here Monday to start that.
Exciting. Thank you. County?
As you're aware, the JCC project is underway. I was unable to attend the meeting. Their next meeting is September 4th, and I'm going to make every effort to be at the county's meeting.
Thank you. LBA is just the Cream Cheese Festival. Anything else that we've forgotten? Okay. I'm going to ask for an executive session, and I would love for you to stay, please. For personnel reasons.
I'll
Make
second.
a motion, and Dan seconded. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Second that actually.